Hi, hello. Welcome. Moon Griffon Show on the road again in beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana. By the way, I'm going to be joined here by a couple gentlemen that will be kind of a co-host. I'm going to have people running in and out the whole time. We got the Trump speech. I've just got a guy that sent me a payroll figure from the Trump tax cut. Got the brackets, also with the pay raise. He says, I got a very happy employees, and I'll get to that as the program unfolds. All right. Let me bring in these guys because y'all going to have to tell people where we at just so I don't mess this up again. First of all, Louis Avallone joins us, and Louis and Stephen Parr. By the way, and I know I've been knowing Stephen. Louis, have I met you before?
I don't think so.
I didn't think I had met you before. These guys do the program from 6 to 7 on KEEL that can be heard Monday through Friday.
That's right.
I'm taking I've said that right.
You got it.
All right. And all right, tell me what's the name of the place we're sitting at today?
This is Strawn's Eat Shop 2.
And by the way, very popular here.
Very popular.
And it's been around a while.
A long time. The original is near Centenary College, which, of course, has been here since 1825. I don't know they've been around that long, but they've been here a while.
Well, they've been here a while. Now, we're actually located on Youree Drive, so if somebody wants to come by, I mean, it's wide open. We're busy with 20 people already. They've been in and out, people eating breakfast and having a good time. And like I said, this is a kind of a happening place, I guess.
It is a great place for breakfast, great place to come and hang out and talk. And, of course, as you were talking about earlier, just before the show started, great place for pies.
Well, is that what they're really known for?
Oh,
because
yeah.
People were texting me or emailing me yesterday and saying, get the pie.
Oh, yeah.
Get the strawberry pie. By the way, when I walked in, I met the gentleman. He said he wasn't working today. He came to work, and I met him, real nice fella. He said, I told him, I said, I need at least one strawberry pie to go. Well, somebody brought me an ice chest. I don't know how many they plan on me taking, but they must be planning on me taking a few of them. I've already told my producer that. So, anyway, we'll be here until 11 o'clock until we pack up. You're welcome to come by, and we'll get a chance to visit with. If you come here and wait, we'll meet with you at the break or after the program. We've had a chance to visit with people and get an opportunity. We want to thank KEEL Radio, of course. These guys that are with me today, they're on the same station I'm on. In KEEL and Shreveport. I've been on here. Take a guess at this one, guys. I think I got on Aaron McCarty with, no, I think Aaron's going to come by 2000 or 2001.
It's been a while.
It's been 17, 18 years here. I think we're in our 18th year here. And, it's been a blessing. You know, I was in Monroe. It was real easy to come over here. Hadn't been up here a whole lot. You know, hadn't had a chance to come a lot. So this is our 25th year. We're going to try to do a little bit more.
Wow.
Try to get around a little bit. And,
wow.
Wonderful. You've been incredibly popular. I mean, people just coming up and shaking your hand, and there was a line of people wanting to shake your hand.
Yeah, no.
Before we even got going.
I get worried about that sometimes. Maybe somebody don't want to shake my hand. You know I'm joking when I say that, guys. No, it is. This has been an incredible run in our 25th year. We started over in Monroe, of course, and now I'm living in Lafayette with good friends at KPL. So this has always been a good market. You know, when I started here, they had gambling. I don't care if you gamble. That's your choice. I just never thought that was the best way to go run the economy. Y'all have had some success, and Lake Charles has too, because you're drawing people from Texas and other places.
Right. Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how they would like me because I was such an anti-gambler.
Well, you got a lot of good company here in Northwest Louisiana with regards to gambling. But I'm the same way. If you want to gamble, great. If you don't,
you don't have to. I don't have to gamble.
There's better ways to develop your economy.
Well, and that was my big take, because, and the reason I brought that up, guys, I know y'all following the state stuff. They're getting ready to expand the heck out of it. And what they're getting ready to do is say the riverboats don't have to be riverboats no more. They're going to put them on land, and they're going to expand them.
Right.
It's a gigantic expansion of gambling. People would say, well, we haven't expanded in 27 years. The goal was always to expand it. And with this governor, I think they'll be able to do it probably. They'll probably get the votes. I just don't think it's the way to run your economy. I mean, we're losing jobs. We're losing people. We're still in our migration situation. Our income's down. Our median income's down. Only one of a few states that's happening to. And all the gas industry is getting basically thrown out of here with the governor and all the legacy lawsuits. So, I mean, every time I notice a state or a place starts turning to gambling, this is just my opinion, it's because they have financial problems. In other words, we're not getting enough money to keep doing what we've been doing.
It's a Band-Aid, because you have gambling is expanding in Texas and in Oklahoma. I mean, those resorts there are getting larger and larger.
If they really expand gambling in Texas, I just wonder what we do. We got a lot of people crossing the line.
Well, and the thing that I have a problem with it is that I think you're hurting the people who can afford to be hurt the least. Gambling really takes money away from people who don't have a lot of money to begin with. If you're taking money only away from high rollers, that's fine. I don't care. They can make more money. But if you're taking money away from people who don't have a lot to begin with, I think you're hurting the people that you say you want to help.
I just don't think it's the way to run an economy. But I can say that, and I really believe that. Now, some people would say, well, y'all have had financial issues, and y'all got gambling.
Yeah.
We got gambling in the state. We got financial issues. They're going to tell them, you watch, how many times y'all going to read in the paper when they're going to say, well, we're going to expand gambling and we're going to expand the tax base. I'm sick of expanding the tax base. You know what I'm saying? Aren't y'all kind of sick of expanding the tax base? Expand the tax base. Everybody expanding the tax base is coming out of our pockets. All taxes come out of people's pockets. Every one of them. Y'all pay if you buy in a restaurant. This restaurant has got to, in its prices, figure their property taxes. Mm-hmm. They've got to figure everything, every tax they got, any mandate from the federal, state, or local governments, they got to put in the biscuit I just ate. By the way, it was delicious. They got to put that in there. They can't make a living.
That's true.
And that's why the governor of Florida is coming to Louisiana on a trade mission, is because we've made Louisiana unfriendly for business.
Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, I kind of get a kick out of it. I thought, okay, Bell Edwards was hot, and they made comments about it. Here's what I want Bell Edwards to do. I want the governor to go to Florida and try to bring businesses here. Why don't we just send him out? Now here's the problem he's got. We got an income tax. Y'all come on.
Yeah.
We got the highest sales tax in the country. Y'all come on. We got high business taxes. We got the highest car insurance vehicles insurance. You said, what is he going to go sell? We're running the gas and all the gas business out of here. Y'all come on. What would he go sell?
Right.
And so what they do, instead of him being able to go sell something over there, he just cuts the Florida governor down.
Well, you can say that you've got some empty buildings that you can move into right away.
They could do that.
You've got to spin it the right way. That's the key.
Well, anyway, folks, we are here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Stephen Parr and Louis Avallone are my special guests today. Actually, they sponsored the program. I wanted to let people know that. Thank you guys for bringing us in, because you guys had a big part in bringing us in. And we were coming anyway, but we wanted to have a place to broadcast.
We wanted you up here. I've enjoyed working with you in the past, and I know people love listening to you, and we wanted you here. And
I appreciate that. That was awful kind of y'all, and we came at a really, really good place. I mean, this place hops and pops, and I'm going to get a couple of pies to go back. My producer, Brandon Como, is sitting there licking his chops. You always get to go and get to go eat, and I don't bring him anywhere. He don't know how to behave. If he know how to behave, I'd bring him somewhere. Anyway, 844-766-6607 is the Hickson Hazard hotline. All right, I got to admit something. I only read about the State of the Union. I was at a function last night. When I left the function, Trump was still talking, but he had 5 minutes left. Just my assessment. I saw a CBS poll said 75% of the people approved of his speech. Number two, I thought the hour and 20 minutes was long. I said that before talking to Clay Young, and I'm hoping Clay will come by. I thought 40, 50 minutes, boom, get out of there. He went 120 minutes. But I didn't. And then, of course, if you read the leftist media, he's a worthless piece of scumbag and don't know what he's doing. But what really, I'm going to get, did y'all both?
Oh, yeah.
And I know you listen. I'm glad you listened too, so I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Stephen, I'm trying to get the names out of it. Stephen?
Yeah.
What do you think? Give me your assessment.
Honestly, I liked how he started it off, because he brought in the people. You know, you always have those people up in the box. Ever since Reagan, the people up in the box sitting next to the First Lady, right? And normally those things happen later on in the speech. That was like the first thing he did out of the box. Is he turned to an American and said, "These are the American people." He then turned to Steve Scalise and said, "Steve Scalise is a national hero."
By the way, and I heard he mentioned Scalise, and that was the other thing I heard, and I was, by the way, excited about that.
Yeah, and he does that straight off the top, and off the very beginning, you start thinking, this is a little different than what we normally get at the State of the Union address. It just seemed a little more personal. It seemed. He always talks about America first, and that really seemed like, let's talk to Americans first.
They did. That's kind of. I saw bits and pieces. They showed some of that.
Yeah. Now, as far as
but normally, before you go to the next thing, normally in the State of the Union, you don't get much details. And my gut feel, I never heard any detail from Obama.
Right.
I heard we were going to get. We got the health care, which is destroying us, but. Normally not a whole lot of detail. I'm taking it there wasn't a whole lot of detail. He wants to do this, but never says how to do it.
The biggest detail he delivered was on the immigration issue. his 4 pillars. He went through those details. These are the things that we need to accomplish this. Now, a lot of folks on the right don't like that he's saying there's a pathway to citizenship in 12 years. The folks on the left don't like everything else about it. The wall, the chain migration ending, the end to the visa system, the visa lottery. He talked about all of those things in detail. And so every time I hear some Democrats say, we can't negotiate with the president because he keeps changing his mind, I'm like, have you not been listening to everything that he's been saying for the last, 2-3 months?
But they're never going to give up.
No,
to beat him.
But at least some point, I understand not giving up, but why don't we do it honestly? You can't say that the president's been flipping back and forth on this. He has been very consistent. There are 4 pillars, and I think everybody could recite them.
Yeah. Good point. All right, Stephen Parr, let's go to Lewis. All right, you saw it?
I did.
Because I didn't watch it. I'm being blunt. I was at an event. I couldn't.
Well, you brought up a great point. You said how many times did Obama refer to himself in the last State of the Union?
70, 80 times. And then they said Trump 123 times we.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. He is a servant leader. And a leader who realizes they are a public servant, they put the focus, they put all the attention, they give all the accolades to the people who are actually making this country great. It's not about him. He realizes that. As egocentric as folks think that he is, he understands this is not about him. What makes America great is not Donald Trump. It's the American people. It's what the greatness is within each of us.
I agree. All right, let's take a quick break. The Moon Griffon Show on the road again. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. A lot more to go, folks. Don't go nowhere. We'll get some opinions. Your phone calls are welcome. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Strawn's Eat Shop 2 is where we're located, and the folks are eating and having a good time. Come on out and visit with us. We'll be right back. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We're at Strawn's Eat Shop 2 on Youree Drive in Shreveport today. We're doing a program, by the way, it's being sponsored by the 2 gentlemen that are sitting with me, Mr. Stephen Parr, Mr. Louis Avallone. They have actually sponsored the program today, and they put it at a great restaurant. It's already been fun. We got to meet a lot of people. I just met somebody that was my wife's friend who's a gigantic fan of the program, and I'm humbled to meet those people. So, by the way, one other thing we're going to do, when I'm going to be back in a couple weeks, and I don't have all the details yet, but we'll put the details together. We're going to come back, do another program. We're going to ride with the salespeople. We're going to have a night that, thanks to Lisa James, is going to help us put on. I know people have been hearing about our cruise. We're going to bring some people from the travelmachine.net about the Alaskan cruise. We're going to try to put together a 5 to 7 evening where people can come. We'll give you something to drink and eat, and you can ask all the questions you want to about the cruise. So we're going to set that up in Shreveport. So anybody in Monroe, Natchitoches, Shreveport, you want to come and find out about the cruise, we'll have that. We'll feed you, give you something to drink, make a presentation for you, and then you can ask questions and sit down with people. The Alaskan cruise, we're going on July 13th through the 20th. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we got a lot of people coming already, but we have some more room for you if you want to come. All righty. Alan Seabaugh's in the house, too. We're going to get to Alan in a few minutes, but go back to Lewis and Stephen. Listen, I just got this from a buddy of mine. Everybody wants to know. Apparently, the tax table's out. I don't know if y'all employ people.
Yeah. Yeah. Lewis runs a big.
Did you get your tax table?
No. I got to check with our accounting department.
Well, you need to check. Here's why I'm saying this. I just got this from a very good friend of mine who runs a business. Just did the first payroll, new tax tables. Yesterday.
Okay.
So if you're not doing that, somebody's doing that for you. That's probably why you don't know.
Yeah.
He actually does his. Okay. An employee got a raise, but a check was higher than the raise. Payroll tax has been updated for Trump tax cut. She got $83 more in a check, plus a $150 raise.
Oh, that's just crumbs.
So that's that. But think about it. No, that's right. What did Nancy Pelosi call it?
That's what she said.
Crumbs. Yeah, it's just crumbs.
Think about
it's pathetic.
That. $225 more dollars or more per month because they're getting a pay raise because companies and corporations saying, you know what, we're going to pass some of it along to our employees. We're going to invest the rest. I mean, you got payroll. That's going to be big for somebody to get a check and go, I got $225 more in my pay period. I don't care what anybody says every month. That gives you a little bitty break maybe from what you got to pay every month. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you wanted to do something. Maybe you want to put some money back for a little bit of cash. Anything you wanted to do, I think it's your money. I'm glad that happened.
That's $2,700 a year.
Thank you.
Right there.
Real money.
Yeah, but for every employee, no matter where you work, guess what? the cost of living still goes up whether you get a raise or not. And a tax break like this can make the difference between keeping a good employee who may be looking somewhere else to try to make some extra money. And
by the way, you know this because you employ people. Somebody will leave a job for another 50 cents an hour.
In a second. Now,
I think about that.
Many times, and it's many times doesn't have to do anything with the business owner. It's just a matter of survival. They've got to be able to make whatever note that they've got that's coming up. And so anyway, that just makes a tremendous difference, and that's why Nancy Pelosi is so tone deaf. She doesn't understand. That is real money to people like you and me.
I'll tell you what, I like to have 200. I don't know what mine is because I'm self-employed, so it ain't going to really matter. But it will affect my wife who's an hourly worker.
Absolutely.
As a nurse.
Absolutely. And again, Nancy Pelosi says that a $1,000 bonus, a $2,000 bonus is crumbs.
I'll take it.
Most people in America don't have $500 in the bank. If they had to have a $500 bill, you take a ride in an ambulance, boom, you're broke. Yep. You got nothing.
Car break.
$2,000 is huge.
And guess what? It's their money to begin with.
Not only are they getting some bonuses, the same people that are giving bonuses are giving pay raises.
Right.
So now if you get a bonus and you get a pay raise and you got a tax cut, I think America's getting ready to feel pretty good about themselves. And what I wish the left would do, people that vote Democrat, would look up and say, well, why had the Democrats ever done this? Because I tell you what they really want to do. They don't want you to go earn it and be the best they can be. They want you to have to come to them, and they tell you what you can have, what we're willing to give you if you just stick with us. And that's why they want another underclass. That's why this illegal immigration, we ought to call it illegal immigration because that's what it is. That's why they want those folks to come in. Y'all got to know that's the only reason they want these folks to come in is they want more voters.
You're touching on something that we talk about every single day on the show, and that is what we call it motivational politics. If you believe in the people, you vote for policies that make people achieve the greatness within them. If you don't believe in if you don't believe in the people, you vote for policies that where you don't think the people can accomplish things, so you have to accomplish it for them. It's a matter of do you believe in the people or not?
Want people to accomplish.
There's some point there.
People that vote like that are waiting for that ship to come in.
Yeah.
That ship ain't even been built. They can stand at the beach all day long. It ain't even on the designer part. My ship will come in if I work hard, believe and work hard and do the best I can. Now, I don't mean I'm going to be a multi-zillionaire, but it does mean that I can have a fruitful life.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Me waiting for you two guys to prosper me, I'm going to be waiting a while, ain't I? By the way, you're not waiting for me to prosper y'all, are you?
Nope.
Take a break. We got to go, folks. We'll be right back with Strawn's Eat, Stop, Shop 2 on Youree Drive. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. Griffon Show on the road again, in conjunction with our good friends at KEEL, 710 AM. And, of course, they have an FM dial. And dummy me, I can't remember it. But we are at Strawn's Eat Shop 2 off Youree Drive. We'll be here till 11 o'clock. If you get a chance, come by and say hi. We're talking to people at the break, and we've been visiting with a lot of people before we even started the program. You're more than welcome to come by. Love to say hi to you. All right, we've been sponsored by Louis Avallone, who's still with us, and Stephen Parr. They actually put the money up for us to be here today, and I do appreciate it, guys. All right, Representative Alan Seabaugh joins me. Alan, good to see you. It's been a while.
Good to see you.
Me and you are both aging.
Yeah.
You probably going to remember the days at Shreveport Music with Don Teach.
That's right.
That?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, and in fact, I sent my daughter needed a guitar restrung, and I sent her. I said, "Go ask for Don," and she got there, and they said he sold the place.
He did.
So I had lost touch with him, and I didn't know he had done it. But
Don, every now and then I'll get I'm surprised he's not here, but every now and then I'll get an email from him or text message from him, and I'll talk to him like that. All right, Alan, and you brought up something pretty interesting. You said you saw the video. And by the way, I got my hands on that video. We put that out. I'm not taking credit for it because somebody else put it together. But you debated Robert Adley.
Yes.
Okay? And I saw Adley saying we cut $600 million out of the budget. Jay Darden saying we cut $600 million out of the budget. Bell Evans is saying we cut $600 million out of the budget. They hadn't shown one thing that they cut. They hadn't even given anybody anything. But you saw the video of Darden basically saying, I never said nothing about no cuts.
Yeah, I mean, he gave an explanation as to how they justify it by swapping means of finance, but not a single department lost money.
And that's what the key is, right?
That's right. I mean, that's what I said all along. It wasn't a cut. By swapping means of finance and rejuggling some numbers, they didn't actually cut anything.
You did. By the way, and I told you because I talked to you, you did a great job with Adley, and I thought Adley once again, kind of like Bill Edwards did with Senator Hewitt, when he told her, he said, "I can explain it to you, but I can't learn it for you." Adley kind of at the end. He beats up on you. You were a gentleman the whole process. And by the way, I don't like that when they do that.
Well, it's difficult to debate somebody that makes up facts on the fly.
Yep.
And Adley look, to be perfectly honest, he was lying his tail end off the entire time. I mean, just about everything he said.
By the way, thank you for calling what it is.
Yeah.
Most elected officials don't like to use that word. You actually called it when I can. I'm not running for office. But he did lie.
He did lie. I mean, it's indefensible. Most of the stuff he said, there's absolutely no justification for it. He was making stuff up as he goes. It's really hard to debate somebody that's going to just make up facts. And that's what I told him. I said, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
That was a great line.
And he was literally making stuff up.
You know what's sad though? Let's go with Adley and the governor. And they keep blaming you Republicans. Robert Adley voted for all 8 of Bobby Jindal's budget.
Yes, he did.
That is a fact. Robert Adley voted to get rid of Stelly. I'm glad he did, but they keep saying that Stelly started all this, the Stelly tax cut. He voted to get rid of it. Then they turn around and blame y'all for everything. I could go on and on with Adley. Adley enriched himself too, but I'll leave it at that. Then Bill Edwards voted for 6 of 8 of Jindal's budget, and he voted to get rid of Stelly. And they keep saying they inherited this. Now, I will tell you, my aunt died a couple of years ago, and she gave me some money. That was a real inheritance. But you see my house note and my truck note? I didn't inherit that from anybody. I freaking signed the bill. That's mine.
Yeah.
Well, Edwards and Adley and all them ran up all this stuff, and then now they want to say they inherited it. And the newspapers keep saying they inherited it. That's not an inheritance. You did it.
That's a good analogy. They were in the legislature on opposite sides of the House and more responsible for the budget deficit than the House Republicans are, I can promise, because we were the only ones voting no.
But see, I keep bringing that up, Alan, because I've had your buddies on. I've had Lance Harris. Something wrong? Huh?
No, I was looking at your sign.
Well, that's my sign. This is the next ladies that are coming on.
Okay.
And by the way, they sponsored the program, so they put the sign up.
I know.
They put a picture of me that run the sign.
I know them. They're my wife's friends. And sorry, it just caught me off guard when I looked up and saw the sign.
They're a cartoon now.
Okay.
By the way, I bet I said that. They're coming on the air after.
They're right.
Alan, going back to something you said this, and I agree. Bill Edwards didn't inherit anything. He created this.
Yes.
Now, you say that. What do you mean by that? Because he did create. By the way, when does he start being governor and quit blaming Jindal? When does he become the governor now?
Well, I mean, he owns what we're doing right now because he has presided over the largest 2-year growth in government in Louisiana history. If you look at it, we went from $23 billion to almost $30 billion in 2 years. And that was under his governorship, at his direction, at his demand for tax increases and spending every single penny
it's
that
we get. It's a $5.4 billion increase, and I'm tired of them saying, and I heard Dart say this too, I'm tired of them saying, well, it's all federal money. It's not all federal money.
It is absolutely not.
Blake, here it is right here. These South Louisiana representatives sent this out, put it in the newspaper, and they all signed it, put their names on it. You know every one of these people that's on it.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of them. And now they didn't send it up here to y'all, but they put it in the newspapers. Edwards received $1.38 billion in temporary taxes, $754 million in permanent taxes, tens of millions in new fees. We're up $5.2 billion. That's state money.
Yes. That's absolutely right. And they keep talking about federal money. The problem with the federal money is that they keep talking about it as if their hands are off and their hands are tied. Their hands are only tied by federal money when they use state dollars to get the federal. The federal money comes with strings attached. We have to use state tax dollars to get the federal money. So we're doing it voluntarily. And if we don't give the whether it's Medicaid or whichever other program,
it ain't free.
It's right.
It's not
it
free
costs
money.
us
They're
money.
throwing money down there on us.
So the reason the federal dollars are higher is because the state tax dollars spent on Medicaid are higher.
Well, Medicaid has become a problem, and nobody wants to address it. Well, they think it's been a blessing. It's breaking us.
Well, if you look at the letter that we sent the governor yesterday, we said
I'd like to get a copy of that one too.
If any, I can give you a copy as soon as we're done. If any taxes are passed, we're going to insist that these 5 spending reform are attached to them. And 3 of the 5 deal with Medicaid efficiency and trying to streamline and get a handle on what we're spending. Because right now, they just kind of open the checkbook and it's going crazy.
Most of the federal matching is 3-to-1 or 2-to-1. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what I want to explain is to people, so we get $3 billion, which is a lot of money to a lot of people. To get $3 billion, we have to pull $1 billion out of our budget to get the $3 billion.
Correct.
So if we've got $9 billion for Medicaid or whatever the number is, I don't know the number, maybe you do. Then we got to spend $3 billion of that money to go get that other $6 billion, correct?
That's correct. And when we get the other 6, we can't spend it on whatever we want. Our hands are tied with how we spend it.
Okay.
But so it's not like it's not like a 3-to-1 where we end up with $2 billion more that we can do with whatever we want. It comes with strings attached. And so if we spend $1 billion, which essentially is what happened, if you look at John Bell's first year, the total budget went up by about $3 billion. All of that went into Department of Hospitals, because it was Medicaid expansion. He keeps talking about how Medicaid expansion saved us money. It cost us $1 billion general fund dollars his first year, and $3 billion total, because the other $2 billion were federal.
How can they keep saying it saved us money? I mean, you're talking about lying. That's a big lie.
That's correct. And I've called them on that several times, and I've never gotten a substantive explanation. They keep saying it saved us $300 million, I think is a number, because what they're looking at, the state would have reimbursed hospitals for the people being uninsured, and they, again, I think that's a funny number. But what they're not factoring in is all the people that were on private insurance that moved to Medicaid. They greatly expanded the Medicaid rolls. These people weren't necessarily all uninsured before the Medicaid expansion, and it cost us a ton of money that we had to spend on Medicaid to get the federal match.
Real quick, Miranda, give me another minute or so, a minute or two with Alan Seabaugh, my special guest. Representative Seabaugh, one of the other things that concerns me is they want massive tax increases. That's what they want. This tax neutral is the biggest bunch of bunk I've ever heard. But they want massive tax increases. Third highest unemployment rate in the country. Our migration is cranked up again. We're losing people again. Our median income is down while other states are all growing around us. How do you justify coming back to people and telling them, I need some more of your money? Because, I mean, eventually my family and your family are all going to go, we keep giving. Y'all don't give anything back. How does that work that I got to keep giving and have? Think about it. Me and you and Lewis, if we'll take less money home and give it to them, we're going to prosper. Explain that to me. I have never figured that out.
It shows how thick-headed they are. They just simply don't learn. You can look at what's happening with the federal government right now. When you cut taxes, business expands, everybody's better off. You saw the Democrats sitting on their hands last night at the State of the Union when he announced positive economic factors, because, I mean, the bottom line is Democrats in Washington aren't anti-Trump, they're anti-American. But
they are.
In the
they
state,
really are.
If you look at the states around us, Texas growing, expanding, Florida growing, expanding, what do they have in common? No income tax. So if you reduce taxes, government expands, and actually revenue expands because you get it from other places. If you cut, businesses move to states that treat them well, that don't tax them into oblivion.
Or lawsuit them out of business.
Or lawsuit them, that's exactly right. And then people will move to where the jobs are being created. Well, we're not creating jobs in Louisiana because we're catering to taxes and trial lawyers.
Trial lawyers especially. Alan Seabaugh, Representative Seabaugh, thank you, sir. We'll do it again. We'll do it long distance probably next time. Be back in a couple of weeks.
That'll work.
I'm curious about the debate tomorrow night. I hope you can at least go. They should have put you on a panel. All right, when we get back, we're here at Strawn's Eat Shop 2. We're going to visit with 2 young ladies, and we're going to have fun with them next. So we'll take a break, be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show in Shreveport, Louisiana, in conjunction with our good friends at KEEL Radio. We're at Strawn's Eat Shop 2 on Youree Drive, and I hadn't tried the pies yet. But somebody brought me an ice chest to bring some home, and I'm going to bring some home, no doubt about it. All right. We want to thank, of course, Avallone and Stephen Parr. And Stephen, I got to look down and remember your name. That's pretty sad. I know it is. Stephen's done, man. I've been knowing you for years. Don't matter. I messed up Bob the other day 3 times. Anyway, but I got 2 young ladies on here that are part of their program from 6 to 7. And, Teri Netterville and Denise Arthur. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, y'all look a lot better than all people that been on the program
Oh, you're
today.
so sweet.
And that's including me. All right. Y'all part of the program, and of course, I'm looking over here. What would Mama do? So talk a little bit about I'll start with Teri.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What do y'all do?
Well,
What's going on?
we were asked to come on the show and bring a mama's take. You know, a lot of times when people are talking about politics or they're talking about kids, on the radio you hear a man's voice and their take. So our take is from the mama's point of view. So a lot of times I think people are surprised to know what we think about things. And
I love when women call the program.
Yeah.
Because they really tell you what to think.
They really do. We really do. And Denise has her Julius Sugarbaker style of delivery. And, you know, she kind of cuts to the chase. And I kind of sometimes flower around things and make my point. But we think a lot alike. There's some differences.
Yeah.
When you
our hearts are the
Denise,
same.
when y'all come on, is it all politics all the time?
No.
Or I live with everything.
Yeah.
No, just like the other night I talked about, you know, why these kids keep sticking their tongues out in all their selfies. What are they going to do in 20 years when they don't have any pictures they can show their kids or turn into the college? So, you know, we just talk about crazy stuff, but we do talk about politics.
Well, that's what I ask you. I can't believe y'all going to sit back.
Well, we're not.
My bride's sitting right over there.
Yeah.
She has a mouth, too.
We met her. I love y'all's story. I love y'all.
Oh, she's already telling my story?
I always find out. I can meet somebody in 5 minutes and know their whole story about how they met their love.
This is part of the show. We just want to say, let us pray. Y'all know my story.
Yeah.
We know your
I'm in
story.
trouble already.
We spent 5 minutes with your wife, and I had to go to Jesus twice.
I'm about to say, if you spent 5 minutes, my wife, y'all got what? Half a second in each to speak?
We got it all.
I told her, I said, you need a microphone. She needs to be one of our American mamas.
I've been telling that people that
yes,
if she had the talk show,
yes.
they would throw me over the side.
They would.
The only difference between my bride and me is, you know the old policeman when you watch the movies and they'll go, they put the gun, stop, I shoot. And by the way, this girl used to run with it. She
Renee Manus.
My wife would do that. She was a policeman.
Yeah.
She'd go, boom, 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 stop, I shoot.
Yeah.
You'd be laying in front of the blood. Oh, I told you to stop.
Y'all's story truly is, we'll have to talk about it sometime on the air. Y'all's love story is truly beautiful.
Oh, no, me and Tanya?
Yes.
That is pretty cool.
It had to be a match made in heaven because there ain't no way God would have done it.
I love it.
So it's funny,
but this is the stuff we bring to the show that's different. Because
and I'm going to have to move up here so y'all don't talk about me and my wife.
Oh, we're going to. We're going to.
You know, we sat down with Tanya, and then, I mean, in 5 minutes later, we just know all these things about each other, and that's how women should be.
That's right.
But now you ask if Teri and I talk about politics. Now, we don't just hamper on the politics every day, but I'm going to tell you right now that we are not scared to come at you because we are women too, and we are being misportrayed, we are being misrepresented, and we've had enough of that. We don't have our own voice. Conservative women, and Teri and I have liberal hearts, we are being shut out. So don't include me when you're not including me. You're not talking to me.
If they're talking to Nancy Pelosi, they're probably not talking to me.
They're not talking.
My gosh.
You just brought up something, Lord.
I knew that would do. I knew that would do.
Help me.
Listen, after I looked at her face all night last night on the, oh my God, she was like flying around my ceiling fan. I couldn't even get that purse string mouth she kept on night long.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen women frown that much in all my life. She's a frowner anytime anybody else is out there talking that has something to do different than that.
And she was looking around like the warden.
But you made a good point though. They try to make it sound like they on the left speak for all women.
And they don't.
Really
they don't.
No.
Most of the women that are on our side, they either taking care of their husbands and children, and they living life. They going through life and they busting their fannies. They got opinions.
Yeah.
It's like they don't believe in all that.
Well, in fact, we feel offended a lot of times when Hillary tries to talk for us, or when Nancy, or a lot of
Hillary.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did. But that was one of the main reasons, people, Hillary felt like that. What was it she said? That the husbands made the women not vote for her?
Right.
That was the most offensive. Remember
My
that?
husband didn't even drive me to the polls, for God's sake. He doesn't tell me. I tell him what's for supper. He doesn't tell me who to vote on.
I'm glad you brought that. They're making my point that I've always made. The other day, somebody got mad at me. There was a lady that listened to the program for the first time. And I got to be careful because you got a lot of first-time listeners.
Yeah.
And some people leave, too. And this is one of the ladies because I made a comment joking. Now, after y'all met my bride, I said to the fact to Brandon, I said, well, it's like arguing with a woman. Now, when I said that if you know me, you listen to the program, I make fun of me more than anybody.
Yeah.
Okay? And everybody laughed. Brandon shook his head and said, boy, you're going to get killed. So anyway, I get an email from a lady. She goes, first time listening, I was really enjoying the program, having fun, learning something, and then you made the derogatory comment like arguing with a woman. And I can't help it, y'all. Can I joke with y'all anymore?
Yes, I know.
Can I joke with y'all?
We don't get offended
my
easily.
wife just roll eyes and laugh, but can I joke with women?
Yes.
Because most of the women in our audience, they knew. Having fun.
And just like you, we like to make fun of the guys in our life.
Well, make fun of me because I'm the easiest one to make fun of.
Our poor husbands, they don't know what's going to come out of our mouth.
My husband works in the ER, and he says all the time, he'll come home and say, Teri, why did you have to tell that story? I said, because it's our story.
I know.
You
Marty just shivers when he walks out the door. And he's always on the road.
I'll be honest with y'all. If my wife was on the air,
she has
probably
to be.
would listen.
We're recruiting her. She's going to be another American mama.
Oh, no, y'all can get on her because one thing about her, you know where she stands and she don't have a problem with
that.
And
that's how we are. But we're just real people. Yeah. We're just real mothers. And, when we talk about how, I don't run around with lady parts on my head, but I want the door opened for me. I still want my husband to open the door.
Good, because my wife's the same way. But I've been called a mother, too, but it's always a half a word. I'm going to leave it at that. So Mother's Day come, I celebrate. I said, what you celebrate? I said, you read my email. If I put my emails out on Facebook.
This is my day.
Well, Becca, I get 95, 98% positive emails.
Right.
But that few percentage that love to tell you, it's what they won't say or won't print or put on the deal. And I laugh at
you got to have a sense of humor.
Well, I know, but just like with the lady, she wrote me and said she was never going to listen to me again. I wrote her back. Tell me if you think this was a good response. I just said, ma'am, you really need to listen more, not less.
Yeah.
I said, because you will find out. And Brandon Como will tell you right now, nobody dogs and jokes about themselves more than me.
That's right.
And I do that because my dad put that in me.
Well, and that's, you just made a good point for us, too. You have to, even though we are conservative women, like Denise said, we do have a liberal heart. So there are issues that we agree with the left on. So before
not many.
Before you judge us, it's usually the social issues.
It's social
when it comes
issues,
to, equal rights and all of that. But anyway... if
equal rights, why do you want equal rights? Why do you want to lower yourself?
Yeah.
Why do women want to lower themselves to men's rights?
Yeah. Move for president. I like this.
Hey, equal rights.
We don't, but
you have to lower yourself for equal rights.
Well, we'd be lying if we didn't say we didn't want y'all's pay grade. I'm just saying.
Yeah, look, that's all I got to my name. My wife told me.
That's more than I have.
My wife told me I got to go through March with this. It's only about $100.
Well, really, seriously, the problem is, and especially in our area here, conservative women don't have a voice. Well, they think they don't have a voice.
They do.
But they're starting to have a voice,
Absolutely.
and they're starting to speak up because politics has never been part of my everyday routine.
Don't you think all the sexual harassment is just raised women up in a big time way?
Well, it has.
In a big time way.
But I'll tell you, you'll be surprised how Teri and I stand on that because we are boy moms, and we're concerned about our boys.
Let me tell you something. I've had women.
Right.
I had a lady tell me this. I'm gonna say a woman. A lady tell me this the other day. Said, "I feel sorry for y'all." I said, "Feel sorry for me for what?" She said, "Because right now, y'all in the land of no man's land."
Right.
It's very
scary.
Thought,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, tune in because we have our own thoughts about that too.
They got mad about Pence not going to eat with just a woman, and I've been doing that just about all my life. I may have done that twice. Anyway, we got to go. Thank you,
all
ladies.
Right.
We'll be back
so
on the Moving Griffon Show. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome back. Moving Griffon Show on the road again in beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana. We're at Strawn's Eat Shop 2 on Youree Drive. We've been there. We have really visited with a lot of people, and we appreciate everybody coming out and visit with us. We want to thank Louis Avallone and, of course, Stephen Parr. They actually sponsored the program for us to be here today, and we want to thank those guys. And we just met their sidekicks, the two lovely ladies that were with them earlier, last part of the program. So I can see they're having fun on their program, which, by the way, we try to have fun, too. We don't always get there. All righty. Going to jump gears. Brandon Como. I just said, Brandon, I got Barrow Peacock on. Send it to Peacock. And he said, huh?
I heard you whistle.
See, that's what I like about Barrow. And I did. I've always whistled. Because John and will come back.
We whistle while we work.
Well, at least you know I'm talking about you. Somebody told you that. I know you can't listen. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Well, good to have you back up here in Shreveport. Thank Louis and Stephen for having you up here. I mean, we need you up here in Shreveport, Bossier, and North Louisiana, and I think you got a little bit below I-10, and I was worried about you. Still a little worried about you, but
I actually went home.
Well, I know.
When you think about it, going to Lafayette, when people say, well, you're not a real Cajun, well, I'm one now. And I'm not going to tell you what people really call me, and it's not important. But it's been a blessing for us. It really has. And we miss our Monroe area. We come over here a lot. We used to come in Shreveport. I'm telling you, me or Tanya was over here almost every week or two, doing business or coming over here playing, shopping or whatever. We always did like coming over here.
As you see, it's like this every day in North Louisiana, and you need to come back a lot. And
it's pretty today.
And you need to take not one pie back. You need to take at least 5 strawberry pies back to Lafayette.
You know, I tell you, I got to do something. I hope they're already made up. Are they already made up? Because I didn't order them when I walked in. I told the gentleman I wanted to get one, but they brought me a list. I think I'm going to have to bring more than one.
It needs to be more than one.
Well, I'll do that because Brandon's sitting there going, you can bring me a whole pie. I could see it in his face. All right, Barrow, jump with you a little bit on the lawmaking stuff. And I've been very upset with the Senate. You know, I've dogged you out. And by the way, people like you that keep coming back. Alan Seabaugh, who me and him, Alan's had some rough times. At least you guys come back, and that I appreciate because we can talk a little bit. I got another gentleman going to be on here with us in a minute, too. One of the things that bothers me a little bit is the Senate seems to go along. I know it's led by Larry, your buddy, and I mess with you about him. They just seem to go along with whatever governor. It can be Jindal. We jump to Edwards, they go along with. We've actually adopted the Senate budget probably about the last 9 or 10 years in a row. Yet when you read the paper, it's always your house buddies. They're the ones screwing everything up. They're the ones messing everything up. And the fact is, I think it's been more on the Senate side. I'm throwing you under the bus. I'm saying I think it's been more on y'all because y'all just kind of ran along, and we've had a lot of Republicans go along, get along with Hilario, and Hilario's not a conservative. I mean, he's a lawmaker. He's a deal maker. So my question is, when you read that, they don't say you don't feel a little guilty by saying, the House. It's been the Senate.
You know, I will say the Senate has definitely a better working relationship amongst our colleagues. It's a smaller body. It allows us to communicate and work closer together. If you saw us in the second special session this past year, you saw it basically a group of us break away. And that's because we wanted a standstill budget. If we would have held what the House Republicans proposed, did a standstill budget,
we'd be better off, no doubt.
A standstill budget, we would be out of this problem in a way that we wouldn't have the pain of this cliff that the governor pushes us back in a corner. And that's what we needed to do. What the House Republicans came up with was a good plan. But it was a plan that, unfortunately, all the Democrats and a few crossover Republicans, 56 votes, passed the budget out of the House this past year.
Okay, but here's my problem with you guys in the Senate, because of Hilario. I never see a senator, and you may tell me I'm wrong, stand up against Hilario. Never stand up and make a speech on the Senate floor that, pardon my French, Mr. Senate President, I'm going against you. You're wrong on this. Here's why. Why does nobody ever stand up and challenge John Hilario? Because I don't see it now. Right. Now. Am I there every day? No, sir, I'm not. It seems like
I'd like you to come to the Capitol.
Well, I've been to the Capitol many times. I'm not as wanted. When it was early in my career, I was always welcome. I'm not as welcome anymore. But what I'm saying is, where's the Senate speeches? If you tell me you're against what they're doing, show me you're against what they're doing. That would be, and you got a Republican majority.
Well, there's a
name only, but it's still there.
I just want to make sure that's clear.
But the press always goes, well, Republicans and the Senate are going along. No, they're not. They are.
And I think you've seen that, and that's been the Senate Republicans. We've been used, and I think that's.
But why not fighting?
Well, I think you're seeing that with votes, and I think a lot of people in the Senate will say, we look at our vote when votes have come up on a bill that sounds equal pay. We're all for equal pay. No one wants discrimination. But when you see the bills like that and the Senate simply votes those down, they're sending a message sort of like Teddy Roosevelt, soft voice, big stick. And you're seeing that. And now on the budget, on spending, I would say there's less than 10 of us who are, really conservative in the Senate.
Well, I know it's not enough, but I just hate the thought that they keep saying Republicans own the Senate. Well, Republicans in name only.
Right, and that's being used against...
But how about this? Where's the fiery speeches? Where's the challenge of Hilario? You can do it. I can do it as ugly as I want to. I understand that. You can't do that. But can't we stand up and say, Mr. President, you're wrong. You've been wrong, because if you think about it, Hilario's been there for a long time, and I told you this, you were the only one to ever vote for him, against him that I know of. I know that the first time.
1972.
I know, but the point being is, if he's the answer, we got problems because he's had a chance to fix this for 48 years. He's not done it. He controlled the House. Now he controls the Senate. The word is he's going to run for House next time and go back and be another Speaker of the House. I mean, I'm just asking you, why can't real Republicans stand up against him and start challenging some of the stuff going on? Because Bill Edwards is getting his way.
He is. The governor's winning right now. And we're going to see what comes out. And right now, that 2/3 threshold, which they want for any taxes, the governor doesn't have it. And the governor's not willing to come with any meaningful cuts. As Alan spoke earlier, you can't show us the $600 million in cuts.
By the way, that was my next question. I mean, Darden and Adley and Edwards out there talking about $600 million in cuts. Aaron McCarty, and there's Robert. I'll ask him in a few minutes because Robert's on the KEEL Morning program.
They do a great job.
They do a real good job. And they talked about the cuts. They asked for the list. He was supposed to get the list. I want to know if they ever got the list of cuts. Yeah. And I don't think there's a list of cuts. Because
I know our budget's grown. And I don't see how when your budget continues to grow. And you need to look at, you will hear Commissioner Darden talk about general fund this. You need to look at total state effort.
Total state effort's over almost $18 billion. I got the number.
It's gone up, and it continues to go up. And that's where we need, because there are a lot of hidden fees and taxes that are dedicated to health care. And health care is
Medicaid's really hurting us when you look at the money part.
I
know they're trying to help poor people, but it's really hurting. Question for you. And as I look at this thing overall, and you got what's going on in the Senate, what's going on in the House. Any way to break away and totally break away from what the Senate leader wants to do? Where you guys can be your own people? I don't see that. I'll be real blunt with you. I've had fun whistling because I know Hilario's a friend of yours now. I know you got a chairmanship. Well, I mean, all that stuff matters to you, I know, but in a way, a leader like that, I think he's a deal maker, not a leader. Now, I'm not trying, I know you're trying to think I'm trying to get you to say something bad about Hilario. I'm not.
And I will say
because you're not going to.
Well, the Senate operates doing its job of passing its bills, passing the budget. Operational-wise, it runs very, very well. The budget comes over to the Senate. It's taken care of.
But when it goes to the Senate is where it gets screwed.
But the policy, now you're getting to the policy side of it, there's differences. And I have a difference. And you can look at my voting record. I didn't vote to increase the corporate franchise tax on LLCs. But that came out of the Senate, unfortunately. Their taxes, their fees and taxes that are coming out of the Senate, they're not getting 39 votes. And that's something, CB, look at our voting record on those issues.
Well, you don't need 39 votes.
Well,
you need 70 on taxes. And a lot of times you just need a majority, which is 21.
I'm talking about
21. Is it 21?
26. 21.
21 on a majority, 26 if you need 70%.
That's correct. And you're not seeing those votes. Like I said, we're less than probably 10 real conservatives in the Senate.
Yeah, that's not good. By the way, Alan Peacock, of course, Alan Peacock. I just had Alan Seabaugh. Barrow Peacock, Senator Peacock. Are you term limited?
I'm not term. Well,
you got one more term.
I got one more term.
So, in other words, if you run, you can run for one more.
I plan on running, and Shreveport Bossier's a great place, and I've had the honor.
I'm curious. I know we're going to have some turnover just because of term limits, and Hilario won't be the Senate president again because he's going to be gone. He can run back in the House. Any leaders that you see in the Senate that will become a new leader and a different type leader? I don't care if you talk about yourself or anybody. Do you think anybody's in the Senate that could take that position and maybe change it to a more conservative position?
I think the Senate will definitely be a more conservative. You're going to probably have about 20 new senators in there. It's going to be a much more conservative body next term.
Well, Hilario gone will help, but it still matters who the Senate president is, and
Absolutely.
I guess that's going to matter who the governor is.
That's going to, and that's we've been criticized some for our vote, our nomination process in the Senate. A lot of that is to take away the influence of the governor, basically to.
Yeah, but y'all went to now we're not going to show the vote.
Well,
but let me tell you
the
something.
final vote is shown.
Huh?
The final vote is recorded and shown.
Well, it needs to be.
It's only the nomination.
The reason it needs to be, I'm not worried about nomination. The final vote has to be shown because when you vote, we elected y'all. And every vote y'all take is my vote.
That's right.
And it's the people's vote.
That final vote is shown.
All right, we're going to see what happens. Senator Barrow Peacock.
Thank you, man. Come back to Shreveport.
I will. All right, take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Strawn's Eat Shop 2. Well, the food's good. I had a biscuit. I had bacon. I saw my bride over there eating. But I am going to get a couple pies before we go. All right, we got to take a break. Be right back. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Of course, we are at Strawn's Eat Shop 2 on Youree Drive. Been a bunch of people come through. We appreciate everybody coming out and getting a chance to visit with a lot of really nice people. A couple of them not too nice. I'm joking. Not you guys. Louis Avallone back with me, and of course Stephen Parr back with me as well. We're going to bring in Robert. Robert, I want to squeeze him in a few.
Wright.
Huh?
Robert J. Wright.
Rice.
Right.
I didn't think it was Rice. Like Limbaugh used to...
He just slurs. That's all.
But anyway, we might bring him on in a few minutes, too. I just want to get some take on some things. All right, guys, your ladies were a lot of fun.
Aren't they great, the American Mamas? And we love having them on the show because, Teri comes at things from such a pure heart and such a sweet angle, and then Denise just cuts right through it, and it's like, those old phrases, folks that live in the backwoods, they got all those old phrases and stuff. You're like, where those come from? I think Denise makes them up. It's just, it's amazing. I love listening to them. I love having them on the show.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. I can tell you they're a lot of fun. All right. One of the things that I mentioned earlier, and I was talking to Louis about, because you got employees.
Yes.
I want you to go back and look at the tax break, because what you're going to get to do now is come talk about it on your program.
That's right.
Because according to a friend of mine, not only was the pay raises given from the corporation, they got $83 back above what they were getting in before the. So if you had the $150 in, they did pretty good.
And it changes the psychology of the individual. When you feel hopeful, you feel generous, and you feel better about who you are and the prospects for the future. And when it's that way, America works better.
Let me tell you something. When you like your job and you feel like you're getting paid more money and you're seeing it,
right,
it does make a difference. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much money you have. If you can make $200 more a month, you're going to be happy, especially middle-class working people. That's what I am. $200 more, I'm pumped up.
There's nothing that's as stressful as, financial stress just seeks in to every part of your life because you feel it constantly. How you go home, how do you treat your spouse when you've got that just hanging over you and you're already stressed? What if you have just a little bit of breathing room there? Maybe you actually are a little bit more relaxed as you get home. Maybe you treat your spouse a little bit. Maybe you're a little nicer to your kids. Maybe you're a little nicer to the person at the grocery store. This isn't just about making the economy better. It's about making life better for people, and that's what America's all about.
But don't you? There's a big contrast, a big difference. And I get mad at Republicans, I do Democrats, as you know. But I just think that what the left is doing by not allowing people to keep their money, it's not like they coined the phrase, or they got the argument that, okay, government is giving me back money, or giving companies and corporations back money. Not giving anything back.
Nope.
They're taking less.
Right.
Am I wrong by that?
Language is so important. Words have meaning. And when you're saying the government's giving something back versus the government's taking less, that has real meaning, and you're exactly right.
But if you look at their arguments is, take the state. Well, we gave all these tax breaks. We gave all. In other words, had we not done that, we would have more money for government. We're not going to change anything we're doing, guys.
Right.
We just want more of your money because it doesn't work that way. Government doesn't earn it. Now, I'm not saying government workers don't earn their pay.
No.
I run into government workers and they go, I'm one of them state employees. Well, what's wrong with that? Do your job. Take your job, make your money, your retirement. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, sure.
But the problem is not y'all. It's the bureaucrats that try to convince people. And that's what Darden and Edwards and them are trying to do. They're trying to convince y'all that if we give them money, and I don't know how this works. If I give you guys $200 out of my pocket, each $100 every month, and I got $200 less, how does that prosper me? Somebody explain it to me, because I'm kind of hard. I'm hard of hearing, but I'm hard to understand too.
But the thing is, these bureaucrats, they don't understand because they don't have the real life experience. And that, I'm not being condescending when I say that. But if running for elected office is the best thing you've got going in your life, you probably shouldn't run for office because you don't have the life experience to understand how these laws affect real people.
But it's a shame if you really go look at elected officials. I don't care if it's local or the federal government. You would think they had life experiences. Not all of them, but a lot of them had to be business owners or lawyers or something. They had to be doing something
to make their money.
Somebody texted me to email me the other day and said, Moon, ask these lawmakers, what do they do at their house when the bills are tight and they got less money coming in? How do they handle it at home? Do they go to their mama and daddy and say, give me some money? Do they go to somebody and say, hey, will you lend me some? What do they do? We've all been there. I've been there.
Oh, sure.
So what do they do in their home life? They can't run to somebody and go get the money. So what do? Well, you may get rid of cable vision. You may, if you had an extra car, you may sell it and only have, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You do something to fix it. Bell Edwards and those guys, they're not doing anything to fix it. They just keep saying, give me some more money, because they've not made one change in what we're doing in Baton Rouge.
Well, the most efficient way to spend money is when you spend your money on yourself. The least efficient way to spend money is when you're spending someone else's money on someone else. And that's what government does.
If you guys want to give me $200 a month, I'll go spend the hell out of it. I love to spend your money. I'm not going to care how I spend it, because I didn't earn it. Y'all gave it to me, unless I stole it.
I'm not giving you $200 a month. And I'm
well,
sorry.
you know what?
You
ever heard every little bit helps? I'm trying to get in there. If you guys will let me, I got 2 segments left. I want to get Aaron and Robert in here for a segment and bring y'all back on for the last one.
Sounds great.
By the way, folks, we are here at Strawn's Eat Shop 2. Louis Avallone and Stephen Parr, who, by the way, sponsored this. You can hear them at 6 to 7 on KEEL, Monday through Friday. We'll take a break. Be right back. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show on the road again. And, of course, beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana. It is actually gorgeous out there today. Wind's going to pick up a little bit. But we're at Strawn's Eat Shop 2, and I haven't gotten my pies yet. Matter of fact, you need to go order me some pies.
Coconut cream, my friend.
Coconut cream, strawberry, I need all that.
No, one of each.
All right, but anyway, we're here. I want to thank Louis Avallone, of course, Stephen Parr, because they actually sponsored this today. They paid for it, but we do want to appreciate trust. I had never been here, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, I got 2 of my favorite people on here, Aaron and Robert. Aaron McCarty and Robert Wright. They're in the morning programs. Y'all been doing this for how long?
Oh,
get your microphone. You got to get that mic over there, little close. How long?
Almost 22 years together.
22 years together?
It's like a bad marriage.
Woo!
Yeah.
My wife been married 22 years. It must have been a good year. What you got? You having problems?
He's not the brightest.
I just want him to put that microphone over there a little closer.
Is that a little better?
Well, it's better, but if that mic was a little closer in front.
Scoot it to the front.
Is that better now? This is my first day.
You got a lot more mic time today.
Yeah, right. Moon Griffon intern.
You lost weight, Moon. You're looking good.
Everybody think I lost weight. I did. I'm actually higher. I lift and walk a lot, and that's been the difference. It's a change of weight.
What was the first thing I said when I came in?
He thought I lost weight. I've heard that from several people that we saw today that we had met. Anyway, guys. First of all, thank y'all for coming on. Y'all have allowed me to come on a program with y'all, and I've had a lot of fun with y'all. Y'all were the original people that interviewed Robert Adley. Y'all interviewed Jay Darden, and although Bernie and them did at KPL too as well, it was probably an interesting conversation. I want y'all to go back and listen to the piece that's out there. That what Jay Darden actually says, no $600 million in cuts.
Wait, what?
No $600 million in cuts. Did Robert Adley tell you there was no $600 million in cuts?
$550 million
Let me tell you, Jay Darden on our show about a week ago, and Aaron said, so what have you cut? And he said, I think he used the $600 million number.
He did.
And she says, can you be specific? And he's
still trying to figure out what he said?
No, he starts running down a list. We cut X amount from this. We cut X amount from that. And he read, Moon, I'm not lying.
I heard him. I listened to the whole thing.
It was 10 or 12 things. And so what you're telling me is...
Did he lie to us?
That he was...
A politician lie? Come on.
Wait.
Did he really?
So what you're telling me is that he's making up this list in his head as he's going down?
Oh, they cannot give you a list. Because you brought it up. You brought it up because I heard you. And if you brought it up, I apologize, Robin. But
he gave
the numbers of it going up. Now, listen, the general fund is up. The state money portion is up. The federal money is up.
And guess what's down? Population,
jobs, income. All that's down.
He was reading to us specific cuts for specific areas and departments.
Okay,
Aaron said, could you email it to me? And he goes, I'll get right after the show.
No, y'all never going to get that. But here's the deal. Go watch the piece. Aaron, I thought I sent it to you. If I did, look, the Dead Pelican has it at the top of the page. I got it still on my Facebook. What it is Jay Darden sitting down with Lance Harris at budget meetings. And he says, he even goes, because Lance really pushed him on cuts. He said, well, I never said that. Well, now this is back in August. It's all there. When you see it, y'all going to be madder than me. Because y'all were the original guys. They didn't come on my program. They're not coming. But the point being is y'all are getting those people, and that's good. But go back and listen, because y'all going to be madder than me. Then he says, I agree. There's not 600 million cuts. We backloaded. I forget the term that they use. I got it right here. He's going to give y'all his term. They backloaded all the money. It had nothing to do. They didn't cut $600 million, and that's going to come out of Jay Darden's mouth. This is what they're going to use. Means of financial swap is when they grab money from other places and tell you they cut. Then they grab it and stick the money back in there. That's not a cut. No. It's not a cut, Rob. If I gave you $110 today, you had 100 last year, I gave you 110 today, and I walk back the next day and say, I'm only going to give you 106. Would you bicker because you didn't get the $4? You $6 above what I was originally giving you. But you start bickering about the $4 I was going to give you. That's where this is at. Y'all have got to go see this. I thought of y'all before anybody because y'all were the original people. K-Pal did a great job, too, answering this question with Jay.
What's going to be the end of this, Moon? Are they going to reach an agreement, or are we going to keep that penny on the books?
I don't see how the penny goes on, because even Edwards don't want that penny. He can't go get re-election with the penny.
Let me ask you about this. The article I read this morning, last night, about Taylor Barrow coming back to John Bell with, did I misread that if you give us this, we'll vote for...
No, there's some negotiating going on, but they want, like, to give you an example, Alan Seabaugh was here a while ago, and Alan made the point there's 5 things that were requested. 3 of them have to do with Medicaid. Medicaid's not free. You don't go to Washington and load the truck up and they dump the money in. You bring some money, like $1 million, and then they give you $3 billion. That's how that works.
The Fed's front load, and as time goes on, the states become more responsible.
And the states are going to have to pay more and more all the time.
Right.
So it's going to get worse, not better. So, Aaron, the fix is going to have to be something as simple as going back to do the House budget. You need to get the House on there and ask them about their plans, because they had a plan last year. And it was basically stand still with the mandated cost reach about 80 million. Then we're going to put that in there, and then we were done. Half the deficit would be gone. So that gets you to $500 million. Don't forget now, Trump's tax cut is going to come in about $300 or $400 million, and the oil prices are up. It's going to bring in another $152 million. You're pretty close now.
Yeah, but all this revenue neutral stuff that the governor talks about,
no such thing.
Getting rid of the penny and then adding other taxes, businesses are going to pay that, Moon.
No, you are.
But businesses are not going to come here because they're going to look and go, I got to do what? I got to pay what? Okay, Texas looks good. Florida
like we talked
looks
about,
real good.
Hello, Smoothie King.
No doubt about it, guys. And I look, there's solutions, but it can't always be to go take money out of the pockets of people where the median income is down. Unemployment is still 3rd highest. Matter of fact, if you go read the report I read, Jim Richardson, and I forget the other guy's name, said the reason. Tyler Bridges wrote the story, and he's been pro-Edwards, 100% pro-Edwards. And they say the reason we have the jobless claims, but the unemployment's down, is number 1, our migration's kicked in. Number 2, we got 50,000 more people that quit looking. It's not because of jobs. And matter of fact, he pointed out from job creation, we're pretty close where we are now, where we were when Bell Edwards came in. The reason they throw that number out there is they want you to think they've created that. Hey guys, look, the solutions are there. But you gotta want government not to be the breadwinner in the big growth. They're growing at 4%, and the economy's growing at 1.9 or 2.1. It doesn't work that way.
Are you optimistic that Barrow or Seabaugh and those guys can put a deal together that will be acceptable to John Bell and his boys?
We call him JB.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Take care. I'm not optimistic that they were going to get something done that we're going to win, because we normally get beat. So when I said we, taxpayers, I'm more worried about the taxpayers. We worry about government so much. What about the taxpayers? What about the people that pay the bill? We never worry about them.
Well, ever. As we say all the time, as we ask folks all the time, at least elected officials, are you of a mind that Louisianans are not giving enough of their paychecks to the state government?
And Robert, I've seen y'all say that. That's a great line, but apparently that's what they think. Because let me tell you something, there's no such thing as tax neutral. Absolutely not. Stelly was tax neutral. It was going to be a little bit of growth. Now we hear Stelly was $700 million to $1 billion. They never told us that. So when they say that they're going to lower taxes and spread them to more things, like you said, Cablevision, you're sitting there and you're not paying a tax. Now you're paying a bigger tax on everything you do. Sure. I guarantee you, I'll bet you, and I'm not a betting man, we're going to pay more in taxes in the long run than we will if they leave it like it is.
So every penny the federal government's about to give me back next month.
John Bell Evans is trying to get it. Yeah.
You think he's got his eye on it? You think that's part of the plan?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that the Democrats in Baton Rouge, at least the ones that are in charge,
and some Republicans, Rob?
Yeah, I was coming to that. There was a meeting that they'll never admit to, where they all sat around a table, had a couple of beers and pizza, whatever, and said, "There's a Trump tax cut coming. How can we get our hands on the extra money that the citizens..."
Matter of fact, it's worse than that, because we know, because of the deductions in taxes, the state's going to benefit, I heard, $250 to $400 million. They're already getting some back because of the tax.
Yeah.
The Trump tax cut. They've already getting some. That ain't what they want to stop. Remember, they're not telling what they're going to do to change. But they want me and you to change by paying more money. Guys, listen to the tape. Don't take my word for it. You look at that tape 2 times, and if I'm wrong, you call me and chew my butt out on air. Fair enough?
Oh, you bet.
Love you guys. Y'all great.
I got a feeling we'll end up siding with you.
I got a feeling if you call me, y'all going to be real nice.
Glad to
Aaron
have
and Robin.
Report.
Oh, it's great. We come back in 2 weeks. We'll do it again in about 2 weeks. We're coming back.
Thank you.
So, and I'll get a chance to get over there in the morning with y'all, maybe.
You bet.
I couldn't get my wife up that early, so I couldn't do that. Anyway, we'll be right back. One more segment to go. Thank y'all. Hey, hello. Welcome back. Last segment of the day. Beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana. I want to thank KEEL Radio 710 AM for putting up with us about, I'm going to say about 18 years now. And we appreciate it. We're very humble. We want to thank the guys that are going to sit here and wrap up the program with me. Y'all heard them off and on. Avallone and Stephen Parr, who's been with us all day. They've actually paid and sponsored the program. And guys, I'm really humbled anybody does that. I really am. We had Strawn's Eat Shop 2. By the way, you need to go see about getting me a couple strawberry pies to go. I want to buy a couple of those and maybe one of those coconut cream. Nobody in my house eats coconut cream, so I got that one by myself. Plus, Brandon Como going to want a pie, and that's going to be bad. But, hey, guys, I want to thank y'all very, very, very much for what y'all did. And I want y'all to be successful with your program. I know y'all got a great lineup with some – it sounds like y'all got it going on, and y'all kind of know where y'all going with it, which is kind of neat. All right, I told y'all, we didn't talk about your businesses, websites, and all that. Let's do that now, because we've been talking politics more than anything else.
Yeah, we're on the air here on KEEL every weeknight from 6 to 7 o'clock. And, we talk about – we're in line with what you're saying. So, and folks can listen anywhere, really, because it's all online. You go to AmericanGroundRadio.com, AmericanGroundRadio.com.
Tell me what American Ground Radio – tell me about that.
That's the name of the show.
Okay.
And the idea is that – we believe in conservative principles, but this isn't just for conservative people, because what we're really about is that the greatness of America comes from the greatness that exists within inside Americans. And there's greatness inside everybody.
That's right. I agree with y'all.
We're not trying to get folks to vote.
We're not trying to get people to vote for Republican or for Democrat. What we want you to do, we want you to believe in yourself. Because as soon as you believe in you, you're never again going to vote for somebody who doesn't believe in you too.
By the way, there's people that don't believe in you. They believe in what they do for you.
That's right.
Which is crazy.
That's right. And that's backwards. We don't want you doing that. We want you to believe in yourself.
What do you do? What do you do for a living?
Actually, this is what I do for a living. And we also
have right now, just the radio?
And we also have what's an organization called conservativeground.org. You can go check out conservativeground.org. And what we're doing there is we believe that if you want to have conservative voters in the future, you have to teach conservative leaders today.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, that is great that y'all doing that. What about Lewis? I'm
in the construction industry,
okay,
and have been for over 25 years. I grew up in it, and back to what Stephen was talking about in terms of what we do under conservativeground.org is that we work with the parties at the grassroots level. There are nearly
by the way, that's where it all starts.
There are 3,000 counties all across this country, and I'm chairman of the Caddo Parish Republican Party here in Caddo.
See, I didn't know that.
And I can tell you, it is a chore to manage your family, your business, and do your civic duty. And what we want to do is we want to put all of the resources together and make them scalable so that whether you're selling car insurance in Topeka or whether you are a life insurance salesman in Fargo, you have the resources necessary to lead your political party. Because, look, not everyone knows all about social media.
Aren't you amazed, though, guys, at how politics has taken over so much? I'm going to say back in the day, I may be way off on this. I'm not that old, but I'm probably older than both of y'all. I just don't remember everything being so political. I didn't notice back when I was a kid and I was going up through college. It didn't seem like politics touches every part of your life. It seemed like families did their best. They did what they could. They worked hard. They went to church. We're in a post-Christian culture, which really hurts us. But now it seems like everybody's got to get involved in it because they telling a group of people that, hey, depend on us, and you got a bunch of group of people like us. And no, don't do that. Depend on yourself. What did you say? Depend on yourself. It's a divide that's got the country kind of divided. And let me tell you something. If the people over here think that taking stuff from people that have is going to make them better, it's not.
I'll tell you where it began.
By the way, I'm going to eat some of this pie while you're doing that.
Please do. I'll tell you where it began. It began with Bill Clinton. Because after he was elected president, Bill Clinton said, we can't stop campaigning. They invented the permanent campaign. And once you have the permanent campaign, it has to permeate every aspect of American life. Otherwise, the campaign stops. This was Bill Clinton's design, and that's what we're living in. That's why there's people kneeling in football. That's why there's statements at the Grammys. You think it's any coincidence Hillary Clinton was the one who was reading from that book at the Grammys this last weekend? No.
By the way, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't watch that.
I didn't either. No.
By the way, they just brought some strawberry pie over here. Now see what everybody's bragging about. That stuff is good.
Good stuff.
I hope Brandon's listening to me, folks, because Brandon, this bite's for you. Brandon, that's really good. But Brandon, when I bring these pies home, don't eat none. It's not good for you, son. You're too young to eat this pie. God, that's really good. And by the way, nobody touch this. I'm eating till I leave. That is really delicious. Now I see why everybody was bragging about the pie.
See, this is why we wanted you to come here.
And by the way, the government didn't make this pie.
No. This is a small business right here.
No.
Local business.
This is what it's all about. This place has, 3 locations? 2,
3.
Wow, but they've been around forever. Now, they might not be the original owners, but they've been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
And we got that. Been in Lafayette. People hear me brag about Shucks, and if y'all ever down there, go to Shucks.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go for me.
No.
Don't go at all for me. Go for you. Because I'm telling you what, you and your wives, if you ever take your show down there, need to go back there and eat.
All right.
It's going to be a great time. You'll have a great time before you ever eat.
Excellent.
It's just that kind of atmosphere there, but it's a homegrown business like that, and David and Bert do a wonderful job. So, you're in the construction business for 20-something years.
Yeah.
Off the record, is business good, fair, medium?
We've always been blessed with work.
That's fortunate.
And
good.
So I don't know any other way.
Do you work just in this area, or do you work beyond
We
this
work
area?
all over the state of Louisiana, Mississippi.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Now, you building houses, you building businesses, or you building everything?
We're a specialty contractor that does work for general contractors of commercial construction, whether it's schools and banks, hotels, whatever it is. So, we've been doing it a long time and just have always been very blessed. And my father is a first-generation Italian immigrant. He's been in this country for 54 years.
But he came in here legally, probably.
I have absolutely.
I'm just guessing.
Yep. No, absolutely. But I have had a front row seat to the American dream, and that is really what drives my passion.
By the way,
because I want other people to have the same opportunity.
And y'all comment on this. The American dream is not 100% prosperity.
No.
The American dream is an opportunity to go to be the best you can with bad turns, trips, fall downs, mistakes, tragedy, blessings. Really, that's the American dream. The American dream is living it every day to go be the best you could be, and sometimes you fail. Government shouldn't come and say, well, you failed, we're going to give you something. It really should.
We close out our show every single day with this phrase: may your pursuit of happiness bring you joy. I don't care if you achieve happiness. I want you to achieve something deeper and bigger than that, and that's joy. And you don't do that when people are doing it for you.
I got to tell you.
You have to get it yourself.
Just because I've been studying this, joy and peace come from the Lord.
That's right.
Period.
That's
you
right.
can't get it another way. Happiness now, I'm happy when I go fishing.
Right.
But that's not the same. But what you're talking about is along those lines of you try finding a joy, because when you do hit the bad times and the tough times, whether you're in business or not,
right,
you work through them.
That's right.
Okay? If you only have happiness, that comes and goes. Joy, peace, lasts forever.
See, we're on the same page.
No doubt about it, because what you were saying really is a spiritual battle.
Well, joy is when you're giving something of value to others, when you're delivering something of value to others. When my father came to this country, one of his very first job interviews, they said, here is what we will pay you. And he said, wait a minute. Wait and see what I can do.
Yeah, see what
first,
you're worth.
And then tell me how much you're going to pay me.
By the way, if you're willing to settle for what somebody will give you, you're going to do that the rest of your life. That's why you worry about people that are just taken from the government. And I know they're in a certain particular situation, but there have been a lot of people who have been poor, uneducated, and come from other countries that dominate in this country and do well.
Ben Franklin said, I'm all for doing good for the poor. I just want to do it a different way. I don't want to make people comfortable in their poverty. I want to drive them out of it. It's such an insight that we've made people comfortable in poverty, and that's the wrong way
what's
around.
the old saying all the time? Dylan, give a man a fish he can eat for a day.
Yeah.
Teach him to fish.
Yeah.
He can eat for a lifetime.
Amen.
And that's so simple.
Yep.
But we've screwed that up. And it's a shame. Guys, I want to thank y'all again for sponsoring us today. Louis Avallone and Stephen Parr. Catch them on KEEL from 6 to 7. I'm sure it's online as well.
Yeah, we can
check it out, AmericanGroundRadio.com. We've got a listen live button, or you can download the KEEL app.
Kind of simple. Thank y'all both.
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, I'm going to finish this pie. Brandon, you're not eating none of this pie. I can promise you that. All right, folks, God bless. God bless Shreveport and the surrounding areas. We're humbled to be here. We'll be back in a few weeks. We'll see you then.